Today we have a review of the Vermeer TG7000 tub grinder made by TWH with the Peterbilt Model 379 4-axle day cab semi. This is an absolutely amazing model. So let's start with the review. I'm going to start with the box. The box is pretty nice. It is an actual cardboard box where most model boxes oh, that's not good. Like this one here for the shuttle lift, made out of a paperboard, where this is an actual cardboard box, which is a nice change. The graphics on this very good. You have a nice picture on either side of the actual tub grinder. The Vermeer logo on the front, and then just some information, the Vermeer website logo, Peterbilt logo and information, and then TWH. So we will put that back there. And now let's get on with the actual review. So right now, obviously it's a truck and trailer combo. I wouldn't really call it a trailer, but it is what it is. So we'll start with the truck. So this is the truck itself is an amazing model. You guys should probably see it considering it's a review. The truck itself is an amazing model. I've had, well, two problems with this truck. First one is the little mirrors that come with it. This one just it will not stick on really well to mine, so I just have to super glue it on, and that's just on the list of things to do. It'll stay on, but the littlest touch, it'll pop off. But that's what it looks like on there. It looks awesome. The other mirror doesn't have a single problem staying on, but that's that. And there should be a blue airline back here as well. That one, it was very poorly glued in, so it popped off pretty much as soon as I touched it. It's in the box right now. So let's quickly go over the features of this. Let's actually start with the fifth wheel on here. The fifth wheel is nice. It does tilt back and forth like it would on a real truck, and then instead of on a lot of models it just has the pin on the trailer just kind of slips in, and it's just kind of held there. This has a spring-loaded mechanism on here to really hold the, your pin's not going anywhere once it's in there. I will say it's a little bit tricky to get this open, trying to put it in, but it's not bad. It's a really nice feature on the model. It is a 4-axle. It's really nice. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in this review. The steering is really nice. You basically have 3 positions for the steering. You either left, right, or obviously straight. They just kind of click into position, and it works really, really well. And what's awesome about this truck is that the hood does open. It's not super tight, so you can pretty much only display it fully open or closed, really. It'll stay about there, but yeah. The engine on this model is got some awesome detail on it, and I'm going to try and show it off the best the camera will pick it up. But the detail on it is awesome. The chrome work on it's awesome. There's so much detail. There's decals. I don't know if you can see the tiny decal right in there. Just there's so much detail put into the engine of this model. It's awesome. And if you can see on the grill, you can see through the grill, which is awesome. It's etched all the way through, which is a really nice feature. Even though with it closed, you really can't tell because there's just the black radiator right behind it. But the Peterbilt logo, nicely detailed. The headlights look great. Everything about this model looks absolutely amazing. It's a really nice tractor unit. Going on to some, and one more thing for the features of it. The doors are a pain in the butt to get open, but they do open. And I'm going to try to show you the detail inside there. The steering wheel, everything very nicely modeled in there. It is pretty hard to see, but oh, there you go. You can see it there. But the detailing inside is just phenomenal. And both doors do open. Very nice feature. The fit between the door and the rest of the body is great. You really couldn't tell that it would open at all to begin with. So let's move on to detail. Mentioned a little bit in the front with the etched hood or the etched grill. The headlights are great. Peterbilt logo is great. Little wind deflector here. The Peterbilt logo on the side is painted on. Oh, actually, the actual Peterbilt logo itself is a little, it's raised. The Vermeer logo, excellent. You have your fuel tank, your step, the decals are excellent on it. A lot of chrome on it, looks awesome. On the back, you have the rack, you have plastic lights on either side, you have actual chain here. What would be looks like ratchets to tighten down any chain. Your airlines, like I said, they're a little, it's like a spring almost. Very nice. And these will connect to the actual tub grinder very nicely. Back here, this is etched very nicely. It looks great. Then coming around to this side of the model, right here you have what would looks like it would just be a tarp. It is actually fabric, which is cool. Another fuel tank. Your graphics are there. It looks awesome. Another small Peterbilt logo hiding down there. Let's take a look at the undercarriage really quick. Nicely modeled. You have the entire drive shaft modeled along with the transmission. Various lines. Even your exhaust pipe from the engine is modeled going up to the exhaust stacks. And then all that's modeled back there as well. Oh, and rubber mud flaps as well. One other little note before I move on to the tub grinder itself is that 2 rotating beacons on top. Those are pre-installed on the model, and then you have to just put in these air horns. They come in a little separate bag with the mirrors, and you can just, there's 4 of each type. I just put 2 of each in. So they look very nice. Overall, I got this model on sale for $135 through diecastmodels.co, and I know every once in a while you will be able to buy it for $135. You just kind of got to wait and see. However, I would recommend buying it sooner rather than later because TWH did go out of business. So I would highly recommend picking one up while you still can. So that is the tractor. I think the tractor alone is easily worth $100. It's a very nice piece of modeling engineering. But I'll set that aside for the time being. And let's take a look at this hefty piece of diecast right here. So, it's mostly in transport configuration. Now that's how it would be transported, well, plus these folded in. And that would just then be hooked to the tractor. This is an amazing model. It's worth every cent. My only problem with this model is that these stabilizer legs, and there are 2 of them. I find that this one is really loose, and then this one you can hardly get down. So I typically don't, and plus I normally just display it attached to the tractor. So for the review, that's pretty much how it's going to be. So features, let's go over features really fast. Obviously you have the conveyor belt, which folds up over the tub and then extends past far enough. Actually, let me grab my one of my 2 Oshkosh, or one of my 3 now, Oshkosh trucks, and you can see that it could easily have a truck pull up under there and load the truck. Or, you know, it would just pile up underneath for a loader. Really nice. Oh, sorry about that. The other really big feature about this is the crane that comes with it, and I think this is really cool. It has a very good range of movement. The grapple is very nice. The only thing that could have made the grapple better is if they painted the rivets on the grapple. The rivets don't really look bad. They're not as noticeable on the rest of the model, but they really stand out on the black grapple. But there are hydraulics in the grapple, so they will pretty much hold any position, anything you want to put in them, which is awesome. And there are little hydraulic lines on it. It's great. Spins 360 degrees. Awesome. Fully detailed hydraulic, both metal and rubber lines on the boom, and you have a decent reach. I mean, for what this machine is. My only problem with this is that the boom cylinder is a little. It's not very tight, so it will pretty much sink down, especially if you have any weight on it. The cab, very nice. Not as detailed as the Peterbilt cab, but it looks good with the guarding on the front of it. And then you have, hand railings. These are just little, I think these are plastic. They might be die-cast. I'm not sure. But they just very easily install. And I think you're supposed to take them off for transport, but they just pop on and off really easy. Now, another thing that just makes this model awesome is that all of the other plating on here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. All of the other walkways on here are entirely metal casted, including the handrails. Looks phenomenal. It's super thin die cast. Looks great. Absolutely nothing to complain about on that model. So that is that. I'm going to stick that over there for the time being. Next, I figured we'll start the rest of the detail over here. You have a little ladder that flips down right here. Little step to get up, and then you have some, it would be anti-slip, but it is detailed there with a little bit of texture. You have your dot striping, which is nice. Again, all of your little tiny warning labels, which just, it's a really nice detail in any model. Little handrails. Then coming along over here, you have this opening compartment, which this is another one of those really, it's such high detail and precision with this casting, it's really actually hard to get open. So, there we go. So, it's a really good fit. You can see the engine inside of the grinder, which is really cool, and I'll show you more of that on the other side. Then right here, you have this opening grate right here, and that opens up. I'm not entirely sure why that would open, but it does, and it's a very nice feature. Again, completely, this is all mesh right here. Looks like it's almost window screen, but it looks great. Then this is this stabilizer right here will fold back completely, and then it does come out. But this is the one I have a problem with that won't really slide down. Next, we have a lot of detail up here. This is where the truck would sit, right under here. We have what would be an Ingersoll Rand air compressor. It looks really awesome. I wish they just sold these by themselves. I'd probably buy some. Look great on a shop truck or something. And then you have, this model comes with 4 of these little cones. It came with 4. I only have 1 on there right now. But they look really good. They're great little, they add a lot to any little model. And it does come with a spot. You can basically put 1 on it, because they don't stack very nicely, but it does make it look like you have a stack of 4. There, you have a little beacon light right here, more of the anti-slip. Now coming around to the other side, we have more of the really finely detailed walkways and stairs, and this right here would be like a little control area for the machine, I guess, if you weren't operating it from the cab or weren't loading it at the time. But The grates come out to act as an operator protection. So that's very nice. And then underneath, you can see very good decals with a very nice control panel, warning labels, all sorts of, I mean, very nicely detailed. And then one other thing right here, that green cap would be your diesel cap right there. I'm sure that would be fun to fill up this machine for a work day right there. Probably cost a few $1,000s alone right there. Then this is another opening panel, opposite of the other one. Again, not really much going on in there. Maybe it's for storage. On top of the model, you have more of the anti-slip that allows you to walk up to the cab. Then, if I remember correctly, this cab door does open. Yes, it does. And you can see some more detail in there. And it does click shut. So coming along on this side, there's a lot of opening doors on this side. This one opens much better than the other one. So this door, again, you can see the engine compartment. You can see some of the filters in there, some hydraulic lines, all sorts of engine stuff. That little black right there is your exhaust. It looks really great. So, moving on right here, you have two of these little grates. And what these are screens that get put in with the tub grinder. If I can get them out. These get put under the tub grinder, under the tub next to the grinder, and they basically screen everything down so it stays in the grinder until it is small enough to pass through these grates. And it's cool that these come out. If you were to set it up in a diorama, you could kind of set it up with, you know, one of these, because I'm sure these made out of steel would weigh a ton. Like in the grapple being set into the grinder. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So this grinder does open up, but first it does have a hood that it's a little spring tension like right here, and it can swing around and back there for transportation. But I normally just leave it up over the tub. So that looks really good on the model. This opens up entirely with a 3-section hydraulic cylinder that is here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here. So this is the grinder itself. You have all the teeth modeled very nicely. It does spin. And you also then have basically a drive shaft from the engine. And I'm guessing this blue thing right here would basically be a gear reducer from, I don't know, like 2,500 RPM the engine's spinning at to a more reasonable speed for the grinder. So probably some big planetary gears in there, I'm guessing. But then you also have a bunch of just hydraulic detail in here. You have actual rubber hoses and stuff. It looks awesome. It looks basically like a gigantic mess in there, which just makes it look really cool. Your conveyor belt, which does, you guys can't see it. It does roll. It's just a pain in the butt to roll it. But you can see the conveyor is all the way underneath. That little plastic piece is, or it's actually a metal piece. It's another. It goes in with these. I just dropped it in there and need some pliers to get it out, which I have around here somewhere. So I need to do that. But that is, it goes along with these, so it's not broken or anything. But so that does open. It looks awesome. You have more hydraulic line detail there going over to this side. So I'm going to close that. And unfortunately, this really is pretty much either open or closed because it you really can't leave it open. But it does just click into place. Right here you basically have, this is rubber, but it would basically be your gear that turns the tub. And if I turn the model around, I'll easily show you the tub turning. And it does turn, and that would be to push stuff into the grinder, which is shown there. It's not fully underneath it, but it does basically make sure everything gets put into that grinder. So moving on, you have the back conveyor belt with and it does fold up. Very cool. It's textured very nicely. I've got dust on mine, but it is textured very nicely. And then, and you also have all your hydraulic detailing on it. And then you also have this right here, which is basically to prevent if you have just a giant pile of mulch building up here, basically to prevent the conveyor belt from hitting it and pulling it back down. But that's a very nice feature right there. And that is about everything for this model. This is a rather long review. This model is amazing. I would definitely recommend you picking it up before they are hard to find. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope it was helpful. I'm gonna get this on here. There we go. Oh, and the fifth wheel hitch does slide back and forth on it. So it's a very nice model. I highly recommend it. It's worth every cent. It's one of the most detailed models I've ever seen. It's a great model. That's really about it. So thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And also, look in the description for my Facebook page. I'll post the occasional video update or model review up there, some pictures and stuff up there every once in a while. So go ahead and give that a like. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.